Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy, One Physical Therapist Assistant, back with another one. It is a beautiful day. It's spicy out today, though, y'all. It's a little spicy. We getting a little heat now. I think we got up to the 80s today. Yo, hope y'all doing all right today, y'all. Hope y'all doing okay, man. Have any of y'all ever been in a tornado? Let me know if you are familiar with tornadoes. I don't know much about tornadoes, but I had a patient today who was telling me about his experience in the tornado, and it sounds a little scary. It sounds a little scary. But this one wasn't a bad tornado. But just picture this, yo. You're a mailman and you're delivering mail, okay? You're delivering mail and you look off into a field as you're delivering mail in about maybe about 100 yards, about a football field away. You see a swirl, okay? You see a swirl. You know what the swirl is. You know what it means, but it doesn't look big, all right? Doesn't look big. And you're in your mail truck, sitting in his mail truck, and he's deciding whether or not he should book it. He should get out of here, but he decides to continue his route because the swirl looks small. The swirl looks very, very small. It doesn't look like it's a big threat. It's getting cloudy out, but the swirl looks small. So he decides to keep delivering mail, but try to keep an eye on the swirl, all right? Now, as he's delivering mail, all of a sudden hail starts. Golf ball this is his story. I'm telling you his story. I like to share their stories. Golf ball size hail starts coming down. Golf ball size hail, okay? Starts coming down, all right? So he can't get out and deliver mail because he might get popped upside the head with one of these pieces of hail. So he bunkers down in the mail truck, all right? Bunkers down in the back of the mail truck, doesn't stay near the glass, gets in the back of the mail truck because his hail is coming down. Now, mind you, the swirl, you remember the swirl? The swirl was 100 yards away before he bunkered down in the back of his mail truck. Now, the hail's coming down. He doesn't want to drive. He doesn't want to get in the driver's seat to drive away. And then he starts feeling the mail truck rumbling. It doesn't last very long, but it gets scary, okay? And then he says once everything stops, after maybe 5 minutes stops, he gets out to check any damage. And he says he looks around the mail truck, and it's a circle of leaves around the mail truck, meaning right around the mail truck on the ground, green leaves have made a circle around his truck. You feel what I'm saying? He was right in the tornado. I have never experienced a tornado, but that story sounded scary. He said it scared the crap out of him, but he didn't realize that, the tornado had came. The swirl that he saw 100 yards away had came straight to his truck and swirled around his truck. It wasn't big. It wasn't big, so it didn't pick his truck up off the ground or anything, but it definitely swirled around his truck. He said he was scared to death. I think I would have been too. But yeah, man, that's an interesting story. Interesting story. I've never been in a tornado, so I don't know what it's like, but he just painted a picture that sounds scary. Golf ball hail. Whew. But anyway, y'all, hope y'all good today, man. I hope y'all are all right. Do I ever tell y'all about how important it is to simplify your life? Do y'all ever get that from my videos? Do I come across as somebody who is influencing you to simplify your life? I hope I am. I hope that's one of the overarching themes about my channel. I hope, like, if you describe my channel to someone, if you have somebody, hey, you should check this channel out. If you describe it to someone, I hope that you describe it as a therapist assistant, physical therapist assistant that be talking about his experiences, telling stories about working with the older people. And he always is encouraging people to simplify their lives based off of his lessons from the older adults. I hope that's how you put it. I hope that's what you say. You're always making videos about simplifying your life, and a lot of investing long-term videos. But anyway, I want to be known for that. Like, I want that to be one of the overarching themes of my channel. Simplify your life as you age. You ain't got to do it now. You got to get all of the You got to get all the consumerism out of your system. But the faster you get all of that out of your system, the better. The faster you get the consumerism mindset, the lifestyle creep mindset, the faster you can get it out of your system in life, the better you are. And I met a man today. I'm not going to say he got out of his system early, but his lifestyle now in older age is much more simple. And also, as he calls it, it's like paradise. All right? Stay with me. Now, any of y'all live in a trailer? Does anybody live in a trailer? I didn't know much about trailers until I moved to the state of Delaware. There's a lot of trailer parks. There's a lot of mobile homes. There's a lot of single wides, double wides. They're all over because this is Delaware, slower Delaware, you know. There's a lot of like rural areas that might have trailer parks, and some of them are really nice. I had a supervisor when I worked as a welder, supervisor who lived in a trailer park, had a double wide, and he showed me pictures of it. It was really nice. The only time I've ever like really been inside a trailer was I have an uncle who lives in North Carolina, and I think he's retired now, but he was some type of surgeon in North Carolina, one of the first black surgeons in his town. All right. So needless to say, he earned a good living. All right. But he lived in a double wide trailer. Now, this was when I was young, when I first went to visit him. When I first went to his trailer to visit him, he had a double wide trailer. Now, I didn't know much about trailers because I'm from Baltimore City. I knew the projects. I knew the hood. I knew townhomes. I knew row homes. I knew, single family homes. But when I went to visit my uncle for the first time, I was probably maybe 10 years old. I stepped inside this trailer. I stepped inside this double wide trailer. And I guess as a kid, this place was immaculate. This place was amazing. It seemed so big, a lot of space. And it was just everything, the layout, everything was nice. It wasn't until later that I found out that trailers are, let's see, what am I trying to say? I think you know what I'm trying to say. Like, to live in a trailer, to live in a single wide or double wide, I don't know how to put it, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. It's not highly regarded. I'll say that. It's not highly regarded if you live in a trailer home in a trailer park. You feel me? Without going into detail, I think you know what I'm trying to say. But this trailer that my uncle lived in, I think he still lives there. Oh man, it was amazing. It was amazing. I start this little story about trailers because the gentleman in question who I met recently lives in a double wide trailer. Now, I didn't see the inside of his trailer, but he showed me a lot of pictures of the outside. And what amazes me was some of the magnificent views he has from his front porch, from his back porch. And this is a double wide trailer. It has a nice little setup in a double wide trailer. But he tells me that it's the same story. Lived in a big house. He's from my state of Maryland. Lived in a big house in Maryland. Became too much for him and his wife to maintain and manage. Left. Came to the first state of Delaware. Found a trailer not too far from one of our popular beaches. And the area, it's beautiful. He showed me some pictures from his front porch and back porch. He showed me beautiful sunsets. He showed me a shot of like a full moon. He showed me a shot into some woods where deers like to come and graze, just chill. And he said this is his paradise. These were his words. He said this is his paradise. Didn't hardly even talk about the inside of the trailer, the inside of the double wide. He just said that this is where he spends most of his time when the weather is nice. He showed me one picture. He had his foot up on like a little table. He sitting in the chair, had his foot up on a table. He said that's what he enjoys all the time. I tell y'all this story about my man's double wide trailer because I'm always encouraging you to simplify your life or work towards, make that a goal. That's a goal. That's a goal of mine. I'm still working on it. I'm still working towards it. All right. I'm on my way home right now. I'm ready to pull up to my crib. I think I said this in another video. When I pull up to my crib, I get out of my car and I don't know, I have mixed feelings. Do you ever feel like that when you pull up to your house? It's your house that you wanted, that you paid for, you chose to live in. But as time goes by, you start to have mixed feelings. What are those mixed feelings? Well, for one, I think my son recently cut the grass, so grass looks good. Grass looks good, but I look at a few hedges that may need to be trimmed. I look at siding that needs a little power wash, and I look at the driveway that needs to be power washed. I know I got a light bulb in one of my fixtures that I think may need to be changed soon. I look at a deck. I go past my deck. I look at a deck that probably needs to be replaced soon. I look at a roof that needs to be replaced soon because I'm going over the 20-year mark in my crib. So what I'm saying is I have mixed feelings. Mixed feelings because, for one, that's my house. It's my castle. You know, I'm a king. This is my castle, and I love my castle. But on the other hand, I know that I have a lot of work cut out for me, or a lot of work to pay for. And y'all know things are extremely expensive nowadays. But this is what we signed up for. You feel me? This is what we signed up for as people who want to live this quote-unquote American dream. However, as we get older, the gentleman who has the double wide, his main love now at this point is the views he has just from sitting on his front and back porches, the simple views. So the heck with the fact that he lives in a double wide trailer, which, like I said, is a little frowned upon if you live in a trailer. I asked my wife about living in a trailer one day. She said, I never really thought about it. I said, neither did I, but it seems like it will be a lot easier to maintain. I just asked my wife about it, just to see what she thought. But my man is so focused on his beauty surrounding his trailer, surrounding his home, as opposed to his actual home. So that's what I learn all the time. I give it to y'all in different ways, different stories, different experiences. So y'all will get that overarching theme that as we get older, I'm sorry, man. As we get older, and also you got to take into consideration, as you get older, everything inflates in cost. Everything inflates in cost. So if you still worried about keeping up with the Joneses, if you're still worried about lifestyle creep, let me get the bigger crib. I worked with a therapist the other day. Shout out to my therapist pal, my colleague, really good therapist. But she told me she was looking for her and her boyfriend, they are looking at a 6,200 square foot home. I said, what? Basically a little mini mansion. I'm like, why? She's like, I know, I just fell in love with it. It's so big we can get lost in it. I'm like, yes, but you gotta maintain that home. Yes, I'm sure it's nice. I'm sure it looks beautiful, which is what lures us all in. But long term, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But shout out to the gentleman who showed me the pictures, and he showed me some really nice visuals just taken on his iPhone. He had a sunset shot. He had a shot of the woods in the back of his home with a couple deers eating, and he had a shot of a full moon. And he said he just sits out there, maybe with a beer or two, and he just enjoys the nature, which is one of my favorite hobbies nowadays, y'all, enjoying nature. So, nothing special, y'all. Just a nice little simplify your life story. Y'all know I got a lot of them. I keep them in my back pocket. I like meeting people who, have similar experiences with seeing the progression from keeping up with the Joneses to simplifying your life. It's reversed. It gets reversed. So I'm starting my reversal now. Well, I've started my reversal, but I like the reversal. I like the reversal. Whew. But anyway, y'all, it is your boy, one physical therapist assistant. Always learning lessons from the older adults. I like hanging out with them, y'all. I was people watching at the beach not too long ago. And I was just watching the older adults, man, do their thing. Just keeping track of them. But anyway, y'all, it's your boy, one physical therapist assistant. As always, appreciate y'all for coming through. I really do. Really do. I hope y'all, learning something from these lessons. I hope y'all learning something from these stories. I hope it's kind of, pulling at something in your brain, pulling at something in your mind, giving you a couple visuals about how important it is to simplify your life. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to. You can do what you want. But I'm trying to show y'all from the experience of the older adults who've done it all already. Getting to that point later, keeping things simple is key. Anyway, y'all, as always, man, help somebody whenever you get a chance. Respect your elders and help people. Help people. Be safe. Enjoy your weekend. And I will holler at you in the next video.